Good morning. It's philosophy time. Today we'll talk a little bit about beliefs. Thank you again to Mr. Mike Dooley for his wonderful book, Leveraging the Universe, 7 Steps to Engaging Life's Magic. Aren't our beliefs more important than the principal thoughts become things? Yes and no. The reason our beliefs are indeed almighty is because our thoughts become things. Our beliefs allow, enable, and encourage us to think within their boundaries. For example, Roger Federer wins professional tennis tournaments because he allows himself to actually think about winning tennis tournaments. And this is because his first belief is that winning is a reasonable option. His thoughts make it happen, but his beliefs allow him to think those thoughts. Our beliefs can also disallow us or prevent us from thinking beyond their scope when we believe something is unlikely or impossible. And without such thoughts being entertained, there can be no corresponding manifestation. For example, when was the last time you thought about winning a professional tennis tournament? Too easy? Then when was the last time you thought about living the life of your wildest dreams? Of course, baby steps and taking action are vital, but even here, you will be shut down before you begin if your beliefs aren't supportive. Obviously, the key to rather effortless thinking thoughts that serve us and blasting forward is to get our beliefs in order. Easy enough, right? Except that our beliefs are usually invisible. So when it comes to discerning which of yours are helpful and which may be hurtful, the course of action I propose is not to go scavenging for what can't be seen, but to simply align yourself with your dreams through a few simple exercises so that you automatically install supporting reflective beliefs, which automatically shedding unhelpful beliefs. People do recognize that beliefs are almighty, but they often, unfortunately, then draw the conclusion that in order to effect change in their life, they must first change their beliefs, which is based on the shaky premise that if they don't already have what they want, for instance, wealth and abundance or friends and laughter, then it must be due to some self-sabotaging, invisible, limiting belief that they do possess, which may not be true at all. This is a scary approach because on the plane of manifestation, whatever we focus on long enough, followed up with action, we either find or manifest. That's the way things work in time and space. It ultimately works for living in abundance if that's where you place your energy. And it ultimately works for finding out what's wrong with you if that's where you place your energy, even if there was nothing wrong with you to begin with. Maybe limiting beliefs weren't the culprit, however. If people are continually walking around saying to themselves and others things like, I must not believe I'm worthy, or I do not know what it is, but I seem to be getting in my own way with limiting thinking, this shall then become their reality. We either find or manifest everything in our lives, including the circumstances that perpetuate what we're focusing on, just as I did with my I'm so tired mantra, even though when I started saying it, it wasn't true. There could be many other reasons that something is not yet in your life, in spite of how long you've wanted it, none of which may be linked to invisible, limiting beliefs. Perhaps it's been a matter of your priorities, or a matter of wanting to organize your life in a certain way before taking action in a new direction. Or perhaps it was simply not understanding how powerful and deserving you already are. Yet the moment you jump to conclusion that there must be something wrong with you or that you must have invisible beliefs holding you back, then bam, it becomes your reality. The cart is now firmly in front of the horse, and such conclusions become your beliefs, creating thoughts, influencing your behavior, and ultimately becoming an issue that will indeed hold you back without you ever uncovering the true reason that perhaps kept you from what you wanted. Making things even more complicated, those who believe they must first find their presumed to exist invisible limiting belief to create change further believe that they must then pull that sucker out by its roots and cast it into oblivion in order to make progress. Yet what often happens, whether or not the belief even existed to begin with, is that once people claim it, instead of throwing it away, they then carry it around with them as if it were a little baby telling everyone about their issue. This is what happened to me when I was 4 years old. This is what happened to me when I was in high school. My heart was broken. This is what happened to me when the first time I got a job, and so forth. They use this invisible limiting belief as a crutch or justification to explain why they aren't further along in life, all while either establishing or reinforcing the new belief that they really do have a problem. Just as where you are is not who you are, neither do you have to explain what brought you to this day in order to purposefully and deliberately blast forward. Let's hear that again. Just as where you are is not who you are, neither do you need to explain what brought you to this day in order to purposefully and deliberately blast forward. The premise that I live by and that works for me and that I've seen work for countless others begins with realizing the only thing separating you today from living the life of your dreams tomorrow are the thoughts you think between now and then. Remembering that your thoughts include your words and your actions. Your destination and the steps you take towards it are all you have to focus on. In fact, as you'll see in this chapter, when you vigilantly work on your thoughts defensively and offensively, your beliefs will automatically align to serve you. And if you do have any invisible limiting beliefs that are holding you back, they'll no longer make sense in the light of your new thoughts, words, and deeds, and eventually lose their hold over your wandering mind and completely vanish, whether or not you even became aware of what they were. A note from the universe. While I would love to help every living soul on the planet remember who they were in previous lives, or why the pyramids were really built, or how their past lives shaped their present manifestations, I'd infinitely prefer to help them bust a move in the here and now, learn some new tricks, and live the life of their dreams, which incidentally is the only reason anyone chooses to come back. Let's do this, the universe. Have a super day. Make some magic happen. I believe in you.